Hey guys, welcome back to a fun-filled adventure here at Untamed Antiques. So I left you guys off on the last one. I was waiting on my solenoid packs for my transmission. I got that back. I have it up in there because I forgot my SD card. So now I just got to go back under there and torque it, and then we're going to work on getting those two broken nuts or bolts out of the transmission so we can clean up it's already clean, so we can install the pan. So let's go. Nothing too fancy. We're just gonna probably do a time lapse real quick of torquing this bad boy down. As you can see, it's all in there, and there's a connector on the top still. Fantastic. Alright, so I'm going to start by building a little tack on these. That way I have something to kind of base my nut off. I'm going to be using like a 3/8 nut, so I can, not too worried about having the aluminum's not going to stick the weld, so it should be pretty good. Remember, PPE, gloves and stuff, and you can just hang out over here. Oh no, so I might have ruined my camera. Right there, I got a fucking weld spatter on there. I accidentally burned the lens on my other GoPro, so I had to go dig out this one. I did get the bolts out. There's nothing special to show you. It took 12 tries on one of them and like 4 on the other, so that was fun. I started to get a little frustrated. Anyway, we're kind of waiting on, I decided to buy a new transmission pan, and it is in the mail. It should be here today. So, and thank God for Amazon for shipping and delivering on Sundays, by the way. Anyway, so I decided in the meantime I'm gonna bring in my traction bar that I built, throw it on the bench, and burn it off. So that can be something that's done and ready to go in, all ready for paint. So after I get that welded, I'll probably switch over, and I do have some stuff underneath. These mounts for the traction bar, they're not welded to the axle completely yet. They're kind of just stitched in while we made sure it fit. So alright, so we got the track bar back inside. It was in the front garage. So pins, this is the bottom. Pins in at the bottom, pins in at the top. It's got a bottom to it. I might add a plate right here. I'll probably leave this all open, but add a plate right here because this is where the pinion is, and they don't make pinion guards for 10.5, so Sterlings. I gotta trim this off and make it fit, and then I'll probably end up boxing the bottom of this in just for strength, and then boxing in part of the top as well. So I'll fire up the welder, and I'll have you guys ride along while I weld this off. Hopefully we don't ruin another lens. I realize you guys probably can't see a lot there, so I'm gonna move you across over to here. Usually I weld with this hand, so. See, there's the last weld I just did. I'm not a pro, but I'm not the worst. So I'm gonna take, gotta get these bushings out real quick so I can burn these off as well. Well, went inside, I was wearing different shoes and I had a bunch of weld slag go in my shoe. And then I recruited Ariana to work on my wall over here.
Can't get it.
So, looks like we got our tranny pan in. So we're gonna unbox that and get it prepped to go in. New pan didn't come with a magnet, so we'll drop this in. Nice and clean. Obviously it's brand new. Drop that in. Oh. Well, we're gonna have to put it next to the drip pit or the drain plug. But now we'll get this, get the gasket out, get the filter in, and put the pan on. Got my shift bracket installed for my winter shifter. Got the pans all torqued down. My battery died in the process. I struggled a little bit getting the gasket lined up. So now we need to install our last transmission piece, which is the output speed sensor. The one that's in there is just broken from being around, flopping around in my truck on the way home. So we'll get that swapped out. And then we're gonna pull the harness back up inside the truck and leave all the extra up inside. That way it's not just getting mud and stuff all over it, so. You'll notice I was jumping around a little bit. Basically trying to keep the heat consistent so it doesn't warp around too much. It was tacked pretty good, but never safe to, or it's okay to be safe and add a couple more tacks and, you know, kind of stitch in here and there. So I got another lens with a BB right there. Gotta work on filling that up. I don't want to get too much heat into it. Alright. Rotate. Get some of these side ones. That one, those ones. Get a couple of those ones. That one for sure. So it's got a little bit of gap, but we'll fill it. It'll be all right. Well, a couple other things I need to do to it, but overall, it's all welded up. So I'm gonna go back, and this side isn't attached yet. I'm gonna cut that to size. I'm gonna box it from the bottom side, and then guss it from here back to the tube. Then hope it fits when we put it back in. Did some work on the truck off camera. I got shifters in here mounted and half of a what I call like a beauty panel around it. I had this one mounted with self-tappers in the floor, ripped out. However, it does function, so that's half the battle. So we just got to build probably put some weld nuts in the floor or some riv nuts if I can find my gun. I have it around here somewhere. So now we're going to oh, rest in peace. Throw this thing in here in the vise. Weld this shut. So this is actually reused off of my old truck track bar, so that's why it's not quite perfect, but it'll work. I also cut this one, we'll get that on, and then we'll get it plated, get it finished welded, and maybe we'll get it cleaned up and primed today. Nothing special, but let's show you it's done. We're gonna get that primed and painted too. But alright, on to the next part. So due to this camera actually took a hit from a Weld BB2, I'm not gonna be recording my welding anymore because this thing was up above pointing down and took a hit. So I think it's just better to not have to buy a bunch of lenses. So the track bar outside primed. I got the whole transmission cross member out. Cut the ends off it because it's not going to work with our new throttle or transmission cable stuff. So we'll get these back mounted in. We're gonna mock up a new training cross member. I think I'm gonna call it a wrap on the video. I just sprayed the track bar in blue. Now we just gotta go back and weld the axle side. Probably on the next episode. Always an awesome color. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time.